let's see if we can agree or disagree on a starting lineup. Let's go through it. Everyone in the comments, get involved as well. This is a group project. Intrigued to see what you guys think about the starting lineup. I'm sure we're all going to agree. But maybe chuck in now your best 11s in the comments section, who you want to see in goal, defensively, in midfield, and attack. I think at this point, we all know that he's going to go for a 4-3-3 formation, right? That's what he always has done as a coach. It's what the US pretty much has always done. Whether they should or not, I can see Andy raising his eyebrows is another matter. But yeah, I mean, let's start with the goalkeeper there. I mean, is Julio right? I mean, Matt Turner, has he elevated himself above Zach Steffen the last 2 games? Good shot stopping, still not the best of his feet. Zach Steffen's probably better of his feet. But as we said before, Matt Turner's probably going to play 5 games in the Europa League, 1 in the League Cup between now and the World Cup. He should be sharp enough. So I'm going to go with Matt Turner being the starting goalkeeper. As much as I like Steffen, I think Turner's ahead of him now. Do we both agree with this? Andy's nodding his head.
Yeah, I think so. I think what we learned from these 2 games is as the competition level and the stakes go up, the U.S. men's national team goalkeeper is going to face a lot of shots. And so having a good shot stopper, the better of the 2 shot stoppers back there, I think is going to be more important. We're going to see more shots against the U.S. goal than chances to really build out of the back, where Zach Steffen over Matt Turner would make a clear difference. So I do think Turner has, by playing solidly as well, not letting in any bad goals, not having any mistakes. We've seen a lot of mistakes from Steffen, whether for the U.S. or for club teams. So I think it's Matt Turner for sure.
Steffen scares me a little bit in terms of his command of the box as well. I think we've seen that a few times, not just in a U.S. shirt, but in a Middlesbrough shirt. And Matt Turner is a confident guy who's going to go up and get the ball right now. Not to say Steffen can't do it. It's just alarming to be at a statement for really the first time in my USMNT fandom where there isn't a out-and-out star goalkeeper there. And that, too, is scary because whether it's Keylor Navas or Milan Borja coming ahead, these teams, and Memo Ochoa a few World Cups ago, CONCACAF goalkeepers have been a strong part of what gets teams out of their group.
Absolutely. Julio has given us a team there. I've just counted it very quickly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there might be 12 players on that team. Julio,
that's what we need.
I think that is how they're going to win the World Cup potentially, or at least get out of the group. But yeah, I like that, to be honest. I think we could agree with most of that. Turner in goal. Robinson, left back. Anthony Robinson, that's a lock. Sergino Dest, right back. I think that's a lock as well. Zimmerman at this point is going to start a centre back. Again, he was okay today. Not bad. And then it's just that spot alongside him, which we've been discussing for months, if not years, it feels like. Yeah. I would have Tim Ream, like that comment says there from Dalton. I would have him in the squad, but I would have him starting. I think watching the last few games, the fact they need some composure and somebody there. But I mean, Chris Richards, is he the obvious choice if he's fit enough, Andy, and gets some minutes with Palace? That's the only issue of him. He's not going to play. The other option is Carter Vickers, exactly, who's going to play week in, week out for Celtic and going to be playing in the Champions League. So I would go with Carter Vickers and or Tim Ream, but
I mean, perfect world, Chris Richards gets a bunch of minutes and it becomes him just, automatically. I think that's probably ultimately what happens because I think he's above the pecking order slightly than Carter Vickers. He's going to need minutes though, obviously, to get that. But a quick aside, how great must it be to be Walker Zimmerman right now? Like completely,
challenging you.
He had to earn it.
Can't be criticized whatsoever because of the situation next to him. So whether he's fantastic or not, Walker Zimmerman, never gonna get the criticism that whoever he plays alongside does.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris Richards is the obvious choice, right? I think, but if he's not playing, then Carter Vickers is a very good backup, or another very good option, who's going to be playing regularly. Again, I like Tim Ream. I think he's a great player. I think he's proved that. And the one thing, I thought he'd struggle at the start of this Premier League season. He's been excellent for Fulham. Fulham have been excellent, and he's in form. So I don't know why. And Berhalter knows him, and the other players around him know him. I mean, he plays next to Anthony Robinson on the left side of Fulham's defence in the Premier League. So I think that's a bit of a no-brainer to at least have him in the squad. But anyway, midfield, Nick. I mean, kind of picks itself, right?
It
West
does.
McKennie, Tyler Adams as and Musa as the midfield trio. We got any arguments for that?
I don't, unless Luca De La Torre goes on gets some real run in that Celta Vigo team.
Okay, so in attack, who would be your 3 forwards?
Well, I'm gonna go with Pulisic. Not obviously. Johnny, sorry, we got a little kid interruptus here. Pulisic at right wing, Aronson at left wing, and I'm actually starting Pfalk up top, but I also don't think that's going to happen. So I would use Tim Weah at center forward. Weah.
Oh, Andy, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this is where the formation, the system actually comes into play. The 4-3-3, obviously, it's not going away. I think you could say more of a 4-2-3-1, where you've got a 10 on the field. You've got Gio Reyna, who can actually get underneath and combine with a center forward, and he can get the ball out wide to the wingers as well. It provides a little bit more width through the attack, not just through the fullbacks. I think we've almost stuck ourselves behind the 8 ball by deciding that the width of attack is only going to come from the fullbacks. So having said all that, I think it's probably the pretty obvious stock answer. Pulisic on one side, Aronson on the other, and who knows in the middle. I think it will probably – the fact that Pepe got the opportunity in this game, I think said a lot about Berhalter wants him to be that guy, wanted him to take that opportunity. Obviously don't think that he probably did in this game, but if you kind of compare – what every center forward has done in that position for the national team over the last X number of months, I don't think anybody has a clear advantage. The only thing that I think could change that between now and the World Cup that would make it not Pepe would be if Pfalk doesn't just go scores a boatload of goals for Union Berlin. And at that point, it gets to, well, I can't ignore him any longer, have to call him in, and then actually have to play him.
I think it would take a lot now for him, though, to backtrack on not calling up Pfalk to this squad, and from his comments, well, what's that, Nick?
It shouldn't. This goes back to the stubbornness. If even honestly, tell me this, Joe, if an England player with any sort of real fire to his name, with any sort of backing whatsoever in the Premier League, scored 2 goals a game or a goal a game, would the English media not be calling for him to get the last spot just in case that form is needed in England?
I don't know. There's a very different situation going on here, but in very similar in other ways with some of the players.
Or pick another position. Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, you're right, and I think again, I'm saying it should be the case, but I don't think it will be. I think that Berhalter has been stubborn enough at this point to leave him out, even when he's leading the line for the team that's leading the Bundesliga and having a great start to the season, which. Yeah, I mean, it was crying out, I think, for a player like him in this attack where you've got Pulisic, you've got potentially Weah, you've got Reyna, Aronson, putting balls into the box. You need a player just a pure finisher, and I don't get it. I mean, right, Andy?
Every player you just named there fits a 4-2-3-1 100 times better than a 4-3-3. And I know it sounds like that's such a small change, but if you really think about the personnel and you're saying these are our best players, because that's kind of what we're doing right here. Like, what is the lineup going to be? This is the best player in this position, this position, this position. If you want to maximize each one of those individually, then put them into a system that fits all of them, not none of them. Like, why are we doing this?
I agree with you. And James says that point very, very clearly in the comments. There should be a 4-2-3-1. And I think we all agree that with the players that you have, that is the best system right now. And I'd love to see Pfalk up top and then just kind of let Pulisic, Aronson, Weah or Reyna, depending on who's fit and who's in form, just let loose and run wild. And that means you kind of sacrifice Yunus Musa maybe in that midfield trio that becomes just McKennie and Adams, or does McKennie miss out, or there's some way that you can calibrate that.
Situationally, I think it's also really good because you've got such different options in there that, you know, a game that you're going to have a ton of possession, like against Saudi Arabia today, maybe you get Musa in there instead of McKennie. And so you've got the natural ball progressor. Like, it's just, I know it's easier said with hindsight and playing the game on paper and everything, but these are really simple changes that feel like, and we have no way of knowing or testing it ourselves, but feel like would have a big impact on this team.